Congratulations, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Please.
I appreciated the meeting with the President, and as he said, it was a productive meeting focused on a place of shared admiration and love, which is New York City, and the need to deliver affordability to New Yorkers, the 8.5 million people who call our city their home.
Imagine your most fierce political enemy walking into the Oval Office, and instead of tension, instead of confrontation, they get a smile, a handshake, and a surprising amount of praise. That's precisely what just happened between Donald Trump and Zohran Mamdani, two people who spent years publicly attacking each other. What went on inside the White House was so unexpected, so out of character for both of them, that people close to it are saying that it may shift political strategies on both sides. Stay with me to the end, because the implications of this meeting go way beyond New York City. This could be a moment that shapes the whole landscape going into the 2026 midterms. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, I break down U.S. politics in a way that is clear, conversational, and easy to follow, even when the news gets messy. And trust me, today's story is messy, surprising, and honestly pretty fascinating. If you enjoy content like this, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Now, let's dive right in. If this meeting was a shock, there is a reason for that. We have to talk about who we're dealing with. Donald Trump, former president, political lightning rod, and still the most dominant figure in the Republican Party. People either love him or hate him, but he holds enormous sway over conservative messaging. Then there's Zohran Mamdani, progressive democratic socialist, rising political star, soon to be mayor of the biggest city in America. New York City, his campaign focused on affordability, safety, housing, and giving ordinary New Yorkers a voice in a city that all too often feels like it's solely the domain of the wealthy. He won on a grassroots wave, the kind of win Trump usually mocks or dismisses. Setting the stage, however, is the history between them. Trump has called Mamdani a 100% communist lunatic and a total nut job, while Mamdani labeled Trump a fascist. These are not mild insults, these are career-defining statements. So when Mamdani arrived at the White House, people expected a politically charged showdown instead. From the moment he came in, Trump was full of praise for him. No, not just courtesy praise, genuine admiration. Trump said Mamdani came out of nowhere, acknowledged his surprising victory, and even offered federal support for some of New York's big initiatives. That alone would have been newsworthy. But what happened next was even more shocking. It was at a news conference that a reporter asked Trump if he agreed with an ally's claim that Mamdani was a jihadist. Normally, Trump leans into his base's rhetoric, but not this time. He shut it down instantly. He said, "No, I don't. I met with a very rational person." Coming from Trump, someone known for doubling down rather than backtracking. That's a huge shift. Then it was time for the truly surreal moment of this meeting. A reporter pressed Mamdani on transportation choices as a way of trying to pin hypocrisy on him. And before he could say anything, Trump jumped in with, "I'll stick up for you." Let that sink in. Donald Trump, the Republican figurehead, defending a Democratic socialist mayor. This wasn't awkward friendliness, this was active protection. Throughout the entire event, Trump treated Mamdani less like an opponent and more like a partner. And people noticed. So, the question is why? Why would Trump embrace someone who represents nearly everything he says he opposes? It is a complicated answer, but we're going to break it down. First of all, this meeting ruins the Republican messaging strategy. Conservatives have been attempting to portray Democrats, especially the progressive ones, as dangerous extremists. Mamdani is exactly the type of Democrat that is used as a symbol of the radical socialist takeover. Trump's praise basically pulls the rug out from under that narrative. That Trump has suddenly pivoted to align himself with Mamdani on affordability is huge. For years, he minimized concerns about affordability as Democratic exaggerations, and yet he is now mouthing the same issues Mamdani ran on: rent, safety, and cost of living. Whether this is actually a policy shift or merely a political one. In either case, it says a great deal. Third, it is a signal from Trump that he determines what is and isn't acceptable within the Republican Party. He is coming out to bat for Mamdani in an attempt to illustrate he can shift the narrative any moment. Whether his base follows him is another story, and one we'll get to in a moment. But let's flip this. What does this mean for Democrats? Mamdani represents a new progressive wave, younger, unapologetically left, leaning and powered by grassroots organizing. Trump's praise might actually weaken attacks against that movement. It complicates the Republican arguments and gives Democrats a new angle. If Trump sees value in working with a progressive mayor, why can't the rest of the GOP? This sets up the big picture, the 2026 midterms. It could very well be a sneak peek at shifting alliances, shifting rhetoric, and shifting political ground. Both parties are watching closely because moments like this can set the tone for entire election cycles. Now, let's talk about what to watch next. First, follow the money. Will Trump actually support federal funding for Mamdani's proposals? If money flows, this is more than symbolism, it is partnership. Second, watch the Republican reaction. Will conservative media go along with this? Will Trump allies praise the move or try to push back? Third, how will Democrats respond? Will they embrace this moment or try to distance themselves in order not to appear too close to Trump? Perhaps most intriguingly of all, the question remains, is this a one-off moment or the beginning of a broader strategy where Trump reaches out selectively to Democrats in an attempt to reshape the political battlefield? Whatever the answer is, one thing is clear: a handshake that nobody expected might end up being one of the most important political signals of the year. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to hit subscribe, tap the like button, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. And let me know in the comments, what do you think this meeting means for the 2026 midterms? I'll be reading your responses and featuring some in the next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.